Join us and discover beautiful beaches, rugged landscapes, pretty towns, desolate mountain ranges that sweep down to stunning lakes, unique architecture, history and folklore, no shamrocks, no shillelaghs, and definitely no shenanigans, just naked Ireland. We're starting our little night walk through Cork on Washington Street, and this pretty spectacular building here, the Courthouse, dates originally from 1836. It was destroyed by fire in 1891 and rebuilt in 1895, retaining this beautiful classical portico and façade, which was all that remained of the original building. Just a little further down the street we encounter this unusual building, which houses the St Augustine's Priory. It was built around 1940 with its West Bay principal façade to the street added about 1975. It's really unusual with its 5 tall windows set in this limestone façade. Now I'm jumping over to one of my favourite parts of Cork City, MacCurtain Street. This hotel, the Metropole, is a key venue in the Guinness Cork Jazz Festival, which happens each October, and just down the street is the Everyman Theatre, which again is an important stage for the artists in the festival. I like this part of town for its ornate buildings. I mean, look at this beautiful clock and watch repair shop. Also, it's one of the most vibrant parts of the city, although I'm visiting midweek in winter, so admittedly there's not a lot of people around. It's a great place to find a restaurant, and here is Isaac's restaurant housed in this exceptional cut stone building, and looking very inviting. If you're just after a pint though, needless to say there's plenty of places to choose from. You can see Dan Lowry's here, for example, across the street. And the building with the triangular shaped thingamajig over the pavement, just down from it, belongs to the Everyman Theatre that I mentioned earlier. These places all look so cosy. Then there's a Shelbourne bar for when you get fed up with lorries. And in amongst all this we have the sober façade of Cork Baptist Church. And here's a humble little fish and chip shop if you fancy something more straightforward to eat. So there's something very ordinary and yet very quaint about this part of Cork. This area is now known as the Victorian part of the city, so called for its lovely Victorian buildings, some of which we've already seen. I think there must be a Japanese restaurant called Sakura in just about every city on the planet, but this one looks very inviting. And this restaurant is called Son of a Bun and specialises in burgers. So you see what they did there? Anyway, again, it looks very cosy. Now these tourists are looking at a plaque on the wall commemorating the great blues guitarist Rory Gallagher, who lived here. Check him out if you've never heard of him. He had a great band in the 70s called Taste, and there's a tremendous album called On the Boards that I remember we had on an old 8-track cartridge in the car when I was young. Now this is Gallagher's restaurant. I ate in here earlier on. Again, it celebrates the guitarist not just in the restaurant's name, but there are photos of Rory adorning the walls inside. So Rory Gallagher's an important person in MacCurtain Street. And there's a mural of Thomas MacCurtain himself, who this street is named after. He was a previous mayor of the city, a commander in the Irish Republican Army, and a passionate admirer of Irish culture. As we turn to head down towards St Patrick's Quay, we see more quaint shops and cafes and eateries. And now we're heading towards the River Lee, where the road widens into a boulevard, and where we'll encounter one of the city's major retail areas. Now some of you might recognise the face painted on that utility box across the road. It is of course the outspoken Irish footballer turned pundit ROY KEANE. Keane was born in Cork and did all his early footballing in Cork before captaining Manchester United in the Republic of Ireland, amongst many other achievements. And this is the River Lee, a confusing river, I find, because it splits into two and then reunites, forming an island in the centre of the city. I think it can make navigating around the city difficult, as you get confused about which part of the river you're looking at. I'm speaking of course as a visitor to Cork. The guy on the plinth over there is Father Matthew. It's amazing how many statues there are and roads named after Catholic clergy in cities like Cork and Galway. It's a testament to the power of the Catholic Church in Ireland in the last century. As it happens, Father Matthew was a staunch teetotaler. He founded the Catholic Total Abstinence Society, formerly known as the Knights of Father Matthew. So I wonder what he'd make of the many nighttime revellers that stagger past this monument at the weekends. So now we're in St Patrick Street, a wide shopping precinct that forms a crescent shape in the city centre. The shops are closed now, but during the day, and especially at weekends and in the summertime, this would be thronged with shoppers. This might be a good time to offer the video a like if it's been useful or informative. Please also think about subscribing. Many of you watch Naked Ireland videos without subscribing, which is great. I'm happy that you watch them at all, but subscribing supports the channel and encourages more similar content. So I'd really appreciate it if you'd help me build the channel, so thanks for that. And here we see Brown Thomas, one of Ireland's most important department stores. Those of you who watched my video of Dublin's Grafton Street will have seen the store there, with its similar façade. There's also another in Galway which just popped up in one of the videos that I filmed there. So Brown Thomas should be paying me handsomely for all the publicity that I'm inadvertently giving them. They're not, I hasten to add. But it's a beautiful shop. And on the subject of remuneration, did you know that if you're an appreciator of Naked Ireland videos, you can now buy me a pint? There's a link below in the description that allows you to do that. So if you're feeling benevolent, go ahead, make my day, as the man once said. I just know you're thinking about it. So Cork is the third largest city in Ireland after Dublin and Belfast. It's the largest city in County Cork, funnily enough, and in fact the largest city in the province of Munster, to which it belongs. It has a population of almost 250,000, not very many of whom have come out this evening, I admit that. It's sometimes referred to by its residents as the real capital, a reference that dates back to the Irish Civil War when Cork stood in opposition to the Anglo-Irish Treaty, which became the basis for the Irish Free State. It's therefore a city with a history of conflict, from its founding as a monastic settlement in the 6th century, and its subsequent encounters with the Vikings, Normans, English, and the part that it played in the Irish Civil War. But don't be fooled, Cork people are very friendly people. You'll get a warm welcome here as a tourist. We're just coming up now to a sharp bend at the end of St Patrick Street, which leads us on to Grand Parade. Just to the right now you can see the entrance to Bishop Lucy Park, another celebrated Cork clergyman. The park seems to be undergoing some kind of renovation at the moment, and on the left, actually just behind us now, we have the English Market, which I'll be featuring in another film. We're just turning now into Oliver Plunkett Street, a vibrant area, again full of pubs, restaurants, and well worth a visit. Plenty of fast food here as well, so if you want to dine casually, this might be the part of the town to come to. There's certainly a great selection of pubs around here. And this is where we'll end our little walking tour. I hope you've enjoyed it. Again, if you have, hit the like and subscribe buttons and help me out. I'd really, really appreciate that. And I'll see you all in the next Naked Ireland video.